Welcome to Rainbow Kitty's channel for parents. Nurture emotionally healthy children with us.
Children's mental development and growth. Parents can be their best support. Children's mental development and growth are topics that do not get discussed generally, unless there is a problem. Physical development is what takes up most of the discussion space. It is important to understand that the former is equally important too, and parents can do the most in ensuring their children's healthy mental development also. At several junctures in our life, we end up wondering why we are the way we are. While all of it is not easy to explain, most of it is. I realized this only when I started digging deeper into child psychology. Though there are many theories that explain child development, the one I found most useful was Erikson's psychosocial theory. The age range may not be just as relevant anymore because times are changing and children seem to be developing at a pace faster than at older times. Here is a quick glance. Most of the features, behaviors that we see in ourselves and other people around us can be explained through these stages, or rather through the major issues or life-changing events that we have experienced at any of these stages. Let us go a bit deeper into each of them. Explaining Erikson's stages of psychosocial development. Firstly, infancy, the period from birth to 18 months of age. This is when trust or mistrust takes its roots. The outcome of this stage is supposed to be hope. This is the stage at which they form trust, yes, so early on. When they are attended to, held or fed, they start developing trust. I know there are a lot of people who believe that children should be left to cry and they will get used to it. Yes, they will. Furthermore, they will also lose their ability to form relationships or develop trust. So, next time when someone tells you not to attend to your baby's cries, do not listen to that advice. No one is more important than your baby. Satisfy your baby's needs first. Next is early childhood, the period from 2 to 3 years of age. This is when autonomy or shame or doubt develops. The outcome of this stage is supposed to be will. At this stage they start showing interest in being more independent. They will be keen on accomplishing tasks like toilet training, dressing up on their own, drawing, painting, reading on their own, etc. Though there is very little chance that they will do any of this perfectly, it is very important that we do not scold them for making that little mess or not doing it right. Shaming and scolding at this stage can lead to development of fear, make them doubt their own capabilities, and eventually lead to low self-esteem. Besides, they will have no choice, other than constantly look up to you for approval, and this will not help them in the long run. Encourage them to make small decisions for themselves, like what dress or shoes to wear, which color to use for drawing, which book to read at bedtime, etc. This will give them a sense of autonomy. Preschool, the period from 3 to 5 years of age. This is when initiative or guilt develops, and the outcome of this stage is purpose. Let them explore, take initiative, or choose what games to play. Try to play along, follow their cute instructions and imitate what they are doing. This will give them more confidence to take initiative. Besides, try not to interfere when children are having little arguments or confusion while playing with their friends. Instead, teach them how to be assertive and help them settle disputes on their own. Watch our video on how to nurture assertiveness in children. Link is in the description. Making fun of their ideas or putting them down will make them feel guilty. Same happens when you interfere while children are having an argument and take sides or blame, scold your own kid. Also encourage pretend play, it helps them communicate better and form relationships. Next is school age, which is 6 to 11 years of age. At this stage industriousness or inferiority develops, and if all goes well, the outcome of this stage is supposed to be confidence. This is when they start getting more involved in school, in studies, and learn new activities. Teachers and peers assume a lot of importance along with parents at this stage. Failure to achieve demands, targets, or expectations, and being called out for that can have a huge impact and affect their confidence. Comparison with siblings and peers can have the same effect too. Be mindful when you guide them. Use the right words and be positive. Further, ensure that you do not hurt their budding self-esteem. Moreover, encourage them to try. Motivate and inspire them. If their interest lies somewhere else, give them the chance to explore and decide what they want to pursue. Most importantly, do not use unkind words. Refrain from making negative remarks on their appearance. Further, help them feel good about themselves, just the way they are. Always remember that every kid is different and they have their own capabilities and limits, whether it be at academics, sports, arts, or anything. Do not push harder than what they can achieve. Encourage them to give their best and appreciate them for the results. Refrain from comparing them with others, or from crediting genetics or yourself for their achievements. Such tiny but helpful measures will give them a lot of confidence in their abilities. They will be able to identify their interests, work towards them, and also build healthy self-esteem in the process. Finally, the most talked about stage in childhood, adolescence. This includes age groups from 12 to 18 years. This is when identity or role confusion forms. The outcome of this stage is fidelity. This is a major transition phase, from a child to adult. Along with the body, the mind also changes. Children will take time to get accustomed to the major changes happening in their appearance and body. Sexual desires and inquisitiveness start taking shape now. Though sex education happens in most schools these days, it is important that parents educate them too. Doing so will give them the confidence that they can discuss about their relationships with you. This is also the time by when they might have decided what they want to do in life. Again, guide them and get them the required support. Let them experiment, make mistakes, and learn from them. Do not force roles upon them. It can cause role confusion. They might start fighting the pressure and form a negative identity. If done right, by the end of this stage they will have a sense of self, a well-defined and solid role in the family, life, society, work, etc. Since Erikson also covers adult stages in his stages of development, let us quickly run through it for the sake of information and completeness. Remember that every stage is dependent in a big way on the preceding stages. What has been built in childhood impacts your life as an adult as well. This is precisely the time when we start recognizing such issues also. Majority of mental health issues and personality issues start getting noticed and addressed now. If we handle the childhood stages properly, there is little chance that as adults our children will have any major issues. This would probably be the best we can do for them and for everyone around us. Young adulthood is the period from 19 to 40 years of age. This is when intimacy or isolation takes form. The outcome of this stage is supposed to be love. At this first adult stage, people start forming relationships. Being able to trust, a trait developed in infancy stage, somewhat defines how we perform at this stage. Even qualities like assertiveness, identity, and self-esteem that we must have learnt as children have an impact on this stage. Not being able to form healthy relationships will lead to isolation. Next is middle adulthood, which is the period from 40 to 65 years of age. This is when generativity or stagnation develops. The outcome of this stage is care. At this stage we get busy caring for our kids, loved ones, society, etc. We give to the larger society or world through our work. Generativity makes us feel like a part of the larger world that we live in and gives us a feeling of accomplishment. If we fail at this stage, we feel non-productive and it leads to stagnation. Again, this stage is dependent on all of the earlier stages since infancy. Lastly, there is maturity stage, which starts at 65 years of age. This is when ego integrity or despair develops. The outcome of this stage is wisdom. This is the final stage when we reflect back on our life. If there were accomplishments and we made at least a few of our dreams come true, we feel a sense of ego integrity. On the other hand, If we end with more regrets than accomplishments, we feel despair. Too much despair at this stage can lead to depression and similar issues. A healthy balance of ego integrity and despair will give happiness at this stage. Letting kids spend time around elderly, especially grandparents, is great because they can learn from the lessons their grandparents learned in life. Lastly, but most importantly, be your child's best buddy, guide and support for as long as you can.
Like, share with your fellow parents and subscribe to get notified.